Well, it isn't that often that we get a nice powdery snow here in Tennessee. Usually it's ice or sleet that comes first and creates ice, and then we get a little bit of snow. But we got a nice powdery, good sledding snow. So I wanted to come out and make sure I capture this moment, and to show you how much the pond has just grown because we've had so much water. Can't even believe we've probably had about 5 or 6 rains that have just completely filled this thing up, and it seems to be holding well, and just totally changed the landscape. Beautiful. So nice, all the trees are holding the snow because it's so powdery. But I can't even believe, because this, and I'll show you as we go down here. This is my road, although you can't even tell. It's just a gravel road, of course, but I'd say we got, maybe 4 inches of snow, which is, you know, that's good for 2 years here in Tennessee, where we're at. Yeah, this, I mean, there used to just be this was grass here, or this is grass, but there used to be a whole lot more of it up till about 2 months ago. And as you can see, coming up on the overfill, I'll kind of explain that to you, and I'll put a shot of it just to kind of give you some perception of it, of what it was like when it was put in. But as you see, this overflow is supposed to work. If it gets too high, of course, it'll just start emptying water down into that creek down there. But this was 10 feet away from the top of the water up to about a couple months ago. So we got a little ice forming. Oh yeah. But just look how vast this is. And I'll try and juxtapose some other, what the old one looked like beforehand. It's just massive. It's beautiful here with all the trees, or the snow in the trees. And I was wondering how far out this water line would come, and if they would start holding water up in here, which is what I didn't really want. And perhaps in the springtime it will, I don't know. But this is just complete mud. And of course it won't come, all my lavender is completely asleep and under the pillow of the comfort of snow, so it's doing just fine. But one of the things I wanted to also talk about is I've had a couple people ask if you can divide lavender, and the answer to that is yes. You don't want to just go probably getting all cavalier with it and stuff when you're dividing it. You really want to divide ones. First of all, it's ideal to divide them now when the roots are, you know, dormant, and it's going to cause a lot less stress to the plant. And ideally you want to, you know, divide it where if you have part of the plant that's not doing well, maybe divide that part from the part that is doing well. Let's see if I can find one. And these are all, they're just sleeping. May not be the right time to even show you because it's just a big frozen root ball. But this isn't a real good one. But if you were to see how you have some green here, but you have some brown here. If you divided and pulled this brown out, and now's the time to do it, but just kind of surgically remove this little brown area from the green, and replanted that, it would probably do better in a new spot. And this would thrive in this spot, just because it's you know, it's just not doing well with the it's probably compacting the roots too much or something. But I don't really, I brought my shovel, but I don't know that I want to do just that just yet, because I don't really have a place. I don't really want to put it somewhere else right now. But that's the key, just do a surgical removal. Now's a good time to do it, and ideally if you didn't have snow on the ground, you'd probably want to make sure the roots get a little water beforehand to reduce the opportunity of stress on the roots when you do pull them out. So keep that in mind. But this one's doing really well. But so the answer to the question is you can divide lavender. It's probably better that you know, take clippings off if you're wanting to do it to multiply your plants. It's better to take cuttings off in probably early spring and kind of nurse the cuttings throughout the spring and summer. Probably put them in some sort of you know, either like a small hoop house or some sort of way to minimize the amount of sun it gets, and just kind of nurse them. Those things will take the roots will thrive, and then you can transplant them in probably late fall, and they'll do just fine. Or even transplant them in the spring. You don't want to transplant them in the summer when it's 90 degrees out, 95 degrees. It'll stress the roots out too much, and they'll just die off. So, and you couldn't give it enough water. I mean, it does, you know, lavender doesn't need all that much water, but it does need initial water to get started. So I wish I could show you exactly what all these plants look like, but they're so covered. The baby, the ones I did in the fall are all just very small plants, and they're just completely covered in snow. But these here, these ones I did, I put them in the ground in, let's see, fall of 23. So they'll be in a year, which means I can go ahead and get some harvest off them this spring. But the ones that I put in the fall, I'm going to let those go for another year before I cut them back, or before I take any harvest off them. And you want to take harvest off them, you know, the purple blooms will come out in around here. It'll be June, and we're in zone 7. So in June, I'll be able to cut some flowers off these. The other ones will wait. Anyway, let's get some more pictures of the video of the pond. I'm just really ecstatic about, and I'm glad it's holding water, you know, because that's a whole nother question right here. If you're ever interested in getting free mulch, you can typically contact your local utility department, who, you know, they always have to cut off trees, cut off branches, and they grind them up, and they have nowhere to throw them. So they look for people, or people get on a list and say, hey, if you ever have a truckload or however much, and you're looking to throw it somewhere, you can throw it at my address. And so I had ordered some. I got some delivered. Here's some. It's pretty good mulch, but it's free. Anyway, they kind of made a mess. They went off my road, and I probably shouldn't have told them to do it when it was wet out, but they went off the road and they made a complete mess. Got their truck stuck. So, you know, there's always things you got to fix on the farm. Always but that's part of it, and I don't mind doing that. I mean, I'd rather them not have gone off the road, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, it's just remarkable. Oh, then here's more tire tracks. They really did a number on me. And I didn't get any mulch over here. It's just completely tire tracks. So thankfully I have a tractor. I can kind of smooth that out. I'll do that in the, I don't know, next time I get my tractor started. But yeah, it's beautiful. I love it when the snow is just sitting in the trees. And it's so peaceful out here. It's quiet. You know, you walk in the snow and there's just eerily silent. And if we keep on getting really cold weather, I could ice skate on this pond. Definitely good for a kayak. I don't have many fish in there now. I'm gonna actually, that's another thing, you can stock. There's a guy who comes around in the springtime. They call him the fish truck. Anyway, you can buy just a bag full of fish and take it home and just put it into your ponds, just to kind of stock the ponds. And so that's what I need to do in the springtime. That's what I plan to do. Put some brim and maybe some catfish or something in here. I want to figure out a way to keep the algae eaten down. It's kind of brown now, but that's just because everything was so unsettled and probably isn't settled in its proper place yet. It's still moving around, but anyway, yeah, beautiful. Got a lot less grass to cut too. That's the beautiful thing. And this is easier to cut here. This will be easy enough to cut. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like the views. It's beautiful when the sun shines through the trees as well, and makes these little sunlight patterns across the pond. Anyway, actually I'm getting my walk in too. This is good. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hope provided a little value to you about the lavender, and give you an update on my pond. And I'll be updating as we go along as well. So thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. One other thing I wanted to show you was this literally fell off of this tree. Just a branch or a seedling fell off this tree, landed here, and I discovered it probably about a year ago, maybe a year ago. But it just self-pollinated it and grew into this. I mean, this thing will be a massive tree in 3 or 4 years. It'll be, I mean, look at the size of that. The diameter of that trunk is probably 5 feet. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. I really don't want it here because it's right on my fence line, but just amazing. Just fell off, and it's a nice healthy tree. I wish it would have fell off right in the middle of my open pasture there, but it is what it is. But I am a little worried about that branch and it just falling arbitrarily, so I guess I'll have to have that trimmed. Anyway, thought that was pretty interesting. And the garden is looking like it's all just sleeping. Got a nice cover of snow on the garlic. You can see the leaves and everything just poking through. But strawberries, well, they're doing well. They're all sleeping. Swiss chard, well, it's asleep. Kind of looks kind of sad. I didn't harvest that. Probably should just I'll just throw it in my compost pile. But yeah, everything's just asleep. Nice and quiet. I don't want to wake anybody up. talk to y'all later.